It's hard to believe that Copps Coliseum is approaching 30 years old. First event was in 1985, and the doors opened with hopes of an NHL dream. That dream seems to have died, but there's a lot of people still kicking tires around Hamilton and see it as a viable sports market. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, the Hamilton Tiger Cats are without a stadium this year. Their new one will not open for another year. They'll be up in Guelph this year. How will that affect the team? We've got lots to talk about. We'll take a look at hockey, basketball, baseball, and a whole lot more as we analyze Hamilton as a sports town next on the broadcast booth. And Al, it certainly is loud and it certainly is boisterous in here, not just in the broadcast booth, in the crowd. The Ice Dogs now down 2-0 in the series, and the feeling might be, as we'll take a look at some of the highlights, a break here, a break there. Could be looking at a different. The Bulldogs have struggled a fair bit lately. Once again, that's not breaking news. But at the same time, though, one of their last victories was a home victory. They're comfortable here at Copps Coliseum. They know they have a team that they've handled well, a team that they've beaten already this year, Norm, so they should be. And welcome back to the broadcast booth on Cable 14, along with Scott Radley, Hamilton Spectator sports columnist, host of the Sports Now on CHML, Doug Farraway, sports media veteran. I'm Steve Clark, and the one thing I have noticed throughout this show, we've talked about three things, guys. The OHL, the AHL, and the CFL and Ticats and Guelph. And Doug, you said you don't want to go to any one of those things. So I think my goal in this segment is to get you to go to a sporting event. David, Strome, Ritchie, Dougie Hamilton, some of the players not playing. Lots more about those who are playing in the game tonight after this on the OHL tonight. First event at Copps Coliseum. It was an old-timers game, I believe, and I remember sitting up in the padded seats on the second level. This is a story that we will continue to follow. Whether it's in the Spectator, the Sports Lounge, or right here on the broadcast booth. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on with the Hamilton Tiger Cats next year, their new stadium, and whether or not they can sustain a consistent fan base or bring in new fans from Guelph. More after this on the broadcast booth with Steve Clark on Cable 14. Now turn the page on the goal to streak, you turn the page on the power play drought, and you can really focus on hockey. And you also turn the page on this game now because you know you've got an important game coming up in less than 24 hours. I believe what was on How I Met Your Mother, the show a couple of weeks ago, they had a map of Hamilton, and they said it's just outside of Guelph. So there's a natural transition that's there, and we will make a natural transition. And when we come back, we will talk about some other sporting franchises that have succeeded in Hamilton to a certain extent and also have not had a whole lot of success as we continue our focus on Hamilton, the sports town. You're watching the broadcast booth with Steve Clark. Be watching this on TV, and they're going to shake their head because it's 0-0. The shots are 7-5. You're saying it's exciting.